Hello. What is up, everybody? Hopefully, let me put up the. Hey, what's up? What's up, Jameson? Glad to see you. Glad to see y'all. We are together. Yay! This was well, I don't think we told y'all about this, but as y'all can see, exactly, it was our surprise. So glad that Mickey's here. Mickey is here, literally. Um, and I hope everybody can hear.
Yes, guys. Yeah. Before we get too far into the show, number one, let us know if you can hear us. Period. Let us know if you can hear me individually. Let us know if you can hear Star individually as well. Before we get too deep into the show, but it's gonna be a good one, y'all.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
Show this evening. We like Star said. As you guys know, I came out for the home game, my first home game for Dallas. And I hit up Star. I said, look, I'm gonna be in the area. We absolutely have to do a show together. And
Yep.
If you came out her way, look, like she said, she's been grinding all day, and after have to do some work, she took some time out of her day to be able to come out and meet me so we can do the show. So we really appreciate everybody coming through. Really do.
Let me add this. I hope y'all can y'all hear Mickey? Because I didn't. I didn't add her. Oh, now it's echoing. Hold on. Oh, it's not echoing now. Oh, I did hear it. It's echoing. Shoot. You know what I need to do? I know what I need to do. Yeah, I need to. Oh, shit. There we go.
Yeah, I still hear you.
Okay, I think this should be good. I think I fixed it. Cause I needed to put the sound in my earphones. Said Mickey can't hear you very low. Oh, Jameson, said we can hear you.
My shit was low as hell. Let me know if you guys can hear me better now. My bad, I had my volume too low. We were going through some trial and error area, y'all. So like I said, let us know if you can hear us clearly.
I think we should be able to hear you. I think we should be good now.
Yeah.
Okay, damn, they saying it's echoes. What up, Lee Harrison?
What's up, Lee? Oh yeah, the Facebook group. What's up, y'all? We really appreciate y'all. Let us know if it's still an echo.
I hope it's not an echo.
I hope not.
It shouldn't be because we both are listening through our earphones. Okay. I mean, it's kind of like reverbing in my ear, but
yeah, mine too. But I didn't think it was doing the.
We just.
Hey, Double R, let us know if the echo is still there.
Yeah, but I think what we're gonna do is just keep rolling. If there's still an echo, we'll try to figure it out.
Yeah, if we go forward.
I hate this stuff, guys. Why is
Fine, man.
What is with the technical stuff, bro? Like, we just trying to do a show. That's it.
Right. So yeah, if anything, I can hop off mine and we just keep doing one mic.
Yeah, we could do that, but all right. I mean, nobody's saying nothing, so I don't know if it's echoing. Y'all let us know. Yeah, okay. They're saying it's still an echo.
Okay. Let me see.
Yeah, Nisi, that's exactly right. We're finally together. But I feel like you're not gonna be able to hear Mickey. What I could do.
You want to just do it on your channel? I just leave it that way. It's just one stream.
No, but I want you to be able to stream it through your channel. What I could do.
You can hear us good. Elite, you can hear us, but is there an echo? Let us know how good or bad, or if there is an echo at all.
Cause I don't feel like nobody's complaining about the echo.
Yeah, not that bad. Yeah.
Cause I could. Let me.
Hey, what's up, Darren Posey? Appreciate you.
What's up, Darren? Glad to see you. Cause I'm like, maybe I can put the mic here in the center.
Yeah. Yeah, because I muted my mic, so I could just, and that way I don't know who's on the computer, and then just have it stream. Yeah. All right, y'all. So while she gets this set up, as you guys are coming in, hit the like button, hit the share button. Really trying to create a great for you. And look, Lou said nothing.
Yeah, it's the link up. It's the in-person link up. We're so excited.
Yes.
Hopefully y'all can hear us. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now, Nisa. I put the mic in the middle, so hopefully y'all can hear.
Yeah.
May not be as loud. I'll try to turn my mic up like super loud. Hello? But how can y'all hear us? Cause okay. It's like it's picking up. I need to see what this. Y'all give me a second. Hear me. You can talk directly in the mic.
Okay, yeah. So while we're trying to get this set up, as you guys know, tomorrow we have this major matchup against the Lions. That's really what we're breaking down this evening. As we kind of get further into the show, as we know, played the Lions last season. I know. Just trying to go off top of the dome right here before we go too further into it. It was kind of a back and forth type of battle. We know it was kind of the Lions do like to play. They like to play tough, right? I mean, they're coming off of a bye week. A lot of their guys are coming back a little bit healthier. I mean, as we know, Frank Ragnow, I believe, the center who was out, I think a couple weeks ago, who I think he was dealing with a partially torn pec. Unfortunately, I know.
All right, sound good.
Did that sound good? No echo
stream.
Either. Oh, good. Okay, Star said it sound good. So yeah, we can go ahead and keep moving forward. But yeah, they're saying Frank Ragnow now should be good to go for. Look, he said Double R said he's gonna deal with the echo. So I guess we sounded good,
Double R.
Right? Yeah, and Lou's take said the audio was good. So yeah, we're gonna be moving forward now. Appreciate everybody's feedback. We really do. Cause like I said, we really want to bring you guys a good show this evening. But like I was saying, we were actually taking a look at the practice before we got in here, like I was just talking about, Frank Ragnow was, going to be coming back for this game. They said, of course, over the bye week, he was able to get a little bit healthier. I think, was Brian Branch injured too, or was he out the last couple of weeks? I haven't had a chance to look.
We'll have to look it up. I can look up the injury report. I'm not sure.
He said it sounds good now, so okay. Yeah, excellent. But when we look at the injury report for the Lions,
look it up on my phone.
Yeah. Okay. And while we look up the Lions injury report, I'll speak on the Cowboys injury report because I actually was looking at that a couple minutes ago. As we know, this week unfortunately we just got hit harder, if at all possible, with injuries. Eric Kendricks, a huge blow. I mean, I didn't expect that start. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was talking about that in the kitchen. I happened to look down at my phone and I'm like, yo, are you serious? Kendricks?
Kendricks going down. I mean, the way he wasn't really practicing, I had a feeling that he was going to go down, or that he was going to be out because he wasn't practicing. And usually if a player don't practice all week, they're not going to play. Right. And I think I had said on Twitter, like, I wasn't really as concerned at first with Kendricks going down, but then they also said that Nick Vigil, who's the backup, is also nicked up now. I think he plays, right? I think Nick Vigil plays, but this is a question I had. I thought that Buddy Johnson was our backup Mike. Was he not? Y'all let me know.
Yeah, and he was making plays during training camp and preseason. Right. And he plays tough. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
like, he's not like a guy who doesn't have that much experience. They picked him up, I think, halfway through the season last year. So I think maybe around October or something like that. So I want to understand this last year if, we were dealing with injury or something like that, and he, didn't necessarily come right off the chart like that. But I mean, he had a great training camp, a great preseason. I mean, I was surprised, not wholly surprised, but I was a little surprised when he made the roster. So I'm like, okay, so they really see something in this guy. He did show something in preseason. So why not, why not elevate him for this week? So yeah, to see Darius Harris, which he had a decent preseason. I'll say he had a good, third preseason game. He definitely showed up in that game. But for him to be elevated over Buddy Johnson, I'm not slighting him or anything.
Well, it's Buddy. No, Buddy's on the 53. Yeah, Buddy's on the 53. So, but I just thought in the preseason, because anytime Buddy was on the field, I mean, things look great. Like, and to me, Buddy Johnson is like the like if you look at Buddy Johnson's build, he looks like a prototypical linebacker. Right. So I thought that he was the backup Mike. Now I'm hearing it's Nick Vigil. To be honest, I'm not really familiar.
Right.
With Nick Vigil. So,
and I'm wondering, did he get nicked up on special teams? Because that's what he was mostly playing last year and last week. So
yeah, because he haven't been getting no defensive snaps. It's definitely It's definitely through special teams.
And watching him not specifically watching him, but seeing him through sounds of the sideline, he seemed to be on the sideline. I mean, no pun intended, but he seemed to be on the sideline for most of the clips. So I'm like, he must have got hurt early in the game. So I'm wondering, with that much time out of the game, and then you had this week leading up where he didn't practice at all. It's like, like you were saying, still, like, how bad is his injury and how bad is Kendrick's injury for him, for any of them to be practicing?
Right. And I said with Kendrick's this, like, if you watch the All 22, like, Kendrick's has been, all the linebackers we've had some really tough competition that we've had to face. Specifically, the way the linebackers were coming up and hitting Derrick Henry, I was surprised we didn't have more linebacker injury after that Ravens game.
Right.
Just to be honest. And then we had to go, then we had to play the
I mean, Giants are a physical team.
Yeah.
And really,
then we had to play Giants. Then we had to play the Steelers. So it's just inevitable when your linebackers are having to come up and just hit. Like, we know.
And mind you, Giants games on a Thursday. And as we just seen with the 49ers,
that's what it was. Since we had to play, we went straight from the Ravens to the Giants. Then we had to play the Steelers. Like, so we pretty much, how many games have we played over?
Yeah, 3 games over, potentially 3 games over 14 days.
Yeah. So
sound a little bit like the holiday schedule the Cowboys be having,
exactly.
Right? I mean,
that's exactly what we played. 3 games in like 14 days. So it's just inevitable, especially your linebackers. They was all low-key on the injury report. It's just unfortunate that our guy, Eric Kendricks, who's the quarterback of our defense, ends up going down. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think there's going to be long-term or anything like that. I think, honestly, if this was a playoff game, Kendricks would be playing.
I agree.
But we're not trying to. We're Mike McCarthy is looking at, the whole coaching staff is looking at this with the long game. You know what I'm saying? So if we have a key player nicked up, go ahead and let him sit for the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let him sit. There's no reason. Yes, this is a big game versus Detroit, but there's really no reason to force him now and then lose him in December, lose him in January. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of just got to be smart.
No, that's facts. Because especially with the way our schedule is kind of set up, and especially with us having a bye week right next week, I think that kind of points to the reason why they kind of held Bland out as well, right? Because they don't want to risk that.
Right, exactly. And shout out to Sports Junkie. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Key, my guy Key, appreciate you. Yeah. Big Dow.
Big Time Show too. I saw you earlier. Big time.
Yeah. Y'all go subscribe to Sports Junkie. My guy Lou's Takes. He's a phenomenal young content creator. He breaks down that offensive lines. Y'all show Lou some love. Yeah. Same with Sports Junkie that I just showed, and then also the Big Time show. Y'all please go and subscribe to the Big Time Show because he puts out great content. And I think he goes live every Saturday. I think he went live earlier.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I think you was live in your car, wasn't you, Big Time? Look, you
Big Time be putting in that work.
Okay, look.
Exactly. And shout out to JB, my guy, JV B-Boy.
What's up, JB?
What's up?
And I appreciate your donation, JV B-Boy. Really appreciate you. And speaking to your donation, I saw your message as well. I saw you asking about John Stevens Jr. and actually, talked about that with Star before we hopped on here because to your point, JV, John Stevens wasn't listed on the injury report this week. And Star made me aware that he's actually, he's still in the 53. So. Yeah. I don't know if we'll see John Stevens Jr. this week. I mean, I've literally heard nothing.
I haven't heard anything about John Stevens, but I am thinking that I don't know. He ain't been active. When you look at who look what they did last week. Look who's been playing. It's been Brevin Spanford.
Right.
Luke Schoonmaker's not even really getting passes. Right. He's there blocking it. He doing I feel like Luke has bought in, and I'm proud of him because it's hard.
Yeah.
When you feel like I'm not seeing the ball, but Luke Schoonmaker has done some phenomenal blocking these past few weeks. Check him out.
Yeah.
But who they using the catch passes is Jake Ferguson and Brevin Spanford.
Yeah, I was wholeheartedly surprised to see, especially not just in the game, but on the second or third play of the game. I'm like
second, third. We went to him on a third down.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. Before Jake Ferguson, I'm like, hold on, I know we're trying to get the guy worked in and everything,
right? But they went to him on third down, so they clearly are high on Brevin Spanford. And although, what game was that where he had that drop?
What was, I think it might have been the Saints. Either Saints or Ravens game.
Yeah, it was Saints or Ravens game. But this past game, he was targeted, I think, 3 times, and he caught two out of the 3. The last throw, it was a crazy throw. I don't think he was expecting Dak to throw that, but it was a dime. He should have caught it.
And I would say, honestly, like you said, either he would have caught it or Dak just put a little, even just a smidgen more oomph on it. And look, that's in his hands.
Yeah, yeah.
That's in his hands. So, and that was a diving catch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
talk about this guy's confidence.
Right. That's what's great about Dak is he really does give all of these guys opportunities. But talking about the injury report, Brian Branch, he's gonna be playing because he doesn't he doesn't have a game status, and when they just put the little dash, that means like you're good, you're healthy, you're good to go. But as far as I did want to look at the Cowboys to see, because let me see, Nick Vigil didn't participate in practice all week.
Man, that's not looking good.
Yeah,
man.
So I don't know. Like I said, y'all have to, if y'all know in the chat about Nick Vigil, I do know he played for the Chiefs, and
Zimmer and I think it was more specifically Paul Gunther that he was associated with.
He has connection to Paul, but I mean, this guy didn't practice all week, and he about to be calling a D. I just don't know about that. I feel like it needs to be somebody else. I'm gonna just be honest, guys. I'm not feeling confident about Nick Vigil. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna cap it to you. Like I'm not feeling confident about that.
Yeah, and I think it was Lou. I think it was either Lou or Big Time Early who commented saying, so I thought it was Maris. Yeah, and that's something they mentioned when they first drafted Maris,
that's
right?
True.
That he kind of mirrors Kendricks. That they in the future they see him as the
future Mike. That's true. That's what we were all thinking. But I think his rookie year, they don't want to put that on him.
Right.
That's what I think I had thought that as well, but Maris didn't wear the green dot in preseason.
Yeah.
So I think they're just trying to let Maris play loose and free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Since they also said possibly Damone.
Look. Okay, look, let's just be real. First of all, do we remember last year's Lions game? You know what I'm saying? This is no shot, no shade, nothing like that. But Damone Clark has improved over this past offseason. I mean, they said that, he's improved.
I'm not gonna lie to you. He's improved, but we're not saying
he shouldn't be out there, but as far as being the Mike, and now granted last year, different from this year. Last year he was literally thrown into position when we lost LBE early in the season, but this whole time you haven't been having him as the backup Mike. It's not like he's progressing in this position behind a Kendricks, right? Not like he's been, I don't even say even Maris probably has spent more time with Kendricks, vice Damone Clark. You know what I'm saying? So him being able to lead and come out and be able to tell these guys where they belong in the field. Not saying I trust Maris more, but I would trust a guy who's been more hip to hip with Kendricks than a guy who hasn't, whose snaps have been going down over these past few weeks.
Right. Yeah, Big Dow Hooker was with Dan Quinn, but the safeties don't call a defense under Mike Zim. He doesn't like that. He was actually asked that specifically in the preseason. He's like, no, I don't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he doesn't. Okay. He does not like his safeties calling a defense. So it'll definitely. Here's the thing with Damone. I do think Damone has improved, and when what we see from the film, he has improved. You know what I'm saying? But my issue is he still hesitates. And Damone, again, he was our middle. I got PTSD, let's be honest.
Facts.
Because last year he was our Mike, and let's be honest, he was god awful. And that's just not who you don't want a guy that's hesitant Harry, as I call it, hesitant Harry. You don't want that guy in the middle of your defense.
Right.
So I'm just hoping we got some other plan. Because I was like, bro, it can't be Damone. This ninja Nick Vigil, he ain't practiced all week. So what the hell is he about to do? You haven't practiced all week.
Yeah,
it's got to be somebody else. Because I'm like, Zimmer, this who you rolling out?
Facts, bro. I mean,
against the Lions,
is Darius Harris like a, I don't know, third or fourth backup Mike? Because I thought that. I mean, I know they didn't. Did they keep it Willie Harvey?
No, we couldn't bring him
back. No, okay, no. I know he was playing that position.
That's true. In preseason,
you know what I'm saying? And he showed strides. I know. That's what I'm trying to wondering if anybody knows in the chat. You know, so that we don't necessarily have to look up everything. You know, if anybody knows if Willie Harvey is still in the practice squad, let us know, because I know he was playing that position in preseason. So I'm just wondering. You know, someone who had, I mean, well, he played. You know, he played in the league. You know, for a while. I think he played with the Browns. You know, a while back.
Right, he played with the Browns. Then he.
Trey says Nick is out this week too, so I guess he's out now.
No, Nick is not out. Oh. That's not true, Trey. He's questionable. He's not out. He's questionable. But Big Dad, I mean, shit, I hope so. Yeah, I hope he had a game in his life. I mean, right, I'm not praying for his downfall. I'm just saying, looking at circumstances, that is not who I would want calling the defense. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I mean, you really can't learn the defense if you're on the sideline. I mean, even you can be on the practices you want. You can be in all the meetings that you want. I mean, no slight, but look at Donovan Wilson. You know, he's a vet. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then he's missing those plays in the backfield. He's you know, in the morning meetings with Paul Gunther and Mike Zimmer, Micah, Trey Diggs, you know, the whole group.
Right.
But, you know, for you to still be missing major plays out there, not saying that, and everyone can make mistakes. Everyone can miss a play here or there, but you know, we're talking about Damone Clark. I think, I believe a third-year player who was having, you know, struggling last season. You know, when that was kind of thrust upon his shoulders. So
he a fourth-year player.
Fourth year.
Damone got drafted the same year Micah got drafted.
Yeah, I'm not. Even being wrong on the years, like I just don't see how. Even Mike Zimmer. I mean, number one, that's not his guy.
It's not his guy. You haven't been playing him, but he about to call the defense.
Right. I don't see it.
That doesn't make sense. Now, granted, the only person who said that name was Steven. And I don't know if Steven was just saying that because he's like, well, he's our Mike. He was our Mike last year.
Yeah.
But absolutely not. And shout out to my guy, Talented Gifted from X. I want to be sure to shout him out because I appreciate when y'all communicate via X.
Yeah.
Be sure to come to the YouTube side, like the video. Did we even say that? Like the video, please.
Yes, please.
Please. Yes, Nikki and I are together. Yay. So please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to our YouTube channels. But he said, are we worried that John Stevens Jr. hype is gone? I mean, I'm not really worried. I mean, he didn't really do much. The issue was in preseason, he didn't separate himself.
Right.
He just didn't do enough. And I don't know. I think the coaches just maybe like, that's how they're treating him. They're treating him like.
For them to, I mean, like you said, like last season, like he was kind of like the talk of the town, right? And even for this season, I know he's going through injuries and things like that. And hoping there's no kind of
wrong with Niecy. She said, "Is Dono sleeping?"
Oh my god, and he better not be, for real. Shout out to David in the building.
She crazy.
What's up, fam?
What's up, David? That's my guy, David. Appreciate you, David. But y'all crazy.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Dono. Let's be fair. He was bad the first couple weeks of the season. I feel like these past few weeks he's been playing pretty good. We haven't really heard his name because he haven't been effing up.
Right.
So I do have to say that. Like, I'm not just gonna, take a dump on Dono like when he's not effing up. When he was effing up, and if he was still effing up, then we need to call him on the carpet. But he seems to be tightening it up.
Yeah.
Seems to be. Now, what I still prefer, Wanye and Bell and Izzy to be on the field over him, yes, I would.
And actually, speaking of that, I mean, it may have just been. I think I was tripping. It may have just been one snap, but did we see a Wanye Thomas out on the field?
We did.
This past game.
Look, sis has a good eye.
I thought I was tripping.
Wanye did play. He now don't know how many snaps he got. I can look that up to see how many snaps he actually got on defense.
Because I think it was like I think it was like a 3rd and short, or like it wasn't goal line. But it was like a 3rd and short, or like maybe even the 4th down. I don't know, but I know it was like where the Steelers had to have a short. It was like a short yard situation. So
yeah,
I mean, I was excited. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like,
me too. When I saw that,
and they didn't bring him out on special teams, being a return.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
I'm saying, and I'm happy about
like,
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Even with Turpin, and shout out to Turpin. You know, I know we talk about
shout out to Turpin
Steelers specifically, but you know, he had a good return coming out in the game, and they really involved him a lot on offense. I was definitely happy to see that. So shout out to Turpin.
And Dak is. They asked Dak this past interview. You know, Dak does the Thursday interview. And they asked him about Turpin, and Dak was like, "Man, like." You can tell Dak is really, really high. He was like, I don't want to say too much because I don't want people to really start game planning for Turpin.
Right.
But he was like, when you have speed like that, and when you have like Turpin actually be out there, bro, running routes. Dak threw that seam ball to him. It was perfect 3 defenders, and he caught it. That's what I'm saying. Turpin be coming up clutch. Like, he comes up super, super, super clutch for us. Like, this is what and have y'all noticed? Since our young wide receivers went off versus the Steelers, nobody is saying we need to go and get another wide receiver.
It is definitely
because they went off
as a point of emphasis anymore. I mean, right? That was the thing they've been hollering since, and I know other creators who were kind of taking the dump a little bit on some of our other guys like Brooks and a Turpin even. I ain't gonna lie, I was mad at this one particular creator because he's like, Turpin is not it. We need to get rid of him. His only role shouldn't be special teams. I'm like, bro, like, we haven't really seen the full utilization of Turpin on offense. So it's just like,
exactly,
how can you give up on a player who hasn't
exactly
shown their full potential?
People like, people want to see Flournoy, but I'm like, bro, Flournoy, he got on the field with blocking, but Jalen Brooks has not dropped a pass since the Saints game.
Facts. And caught a big one in his pass game.
Caught a big one.
Look, y'all, it's about...
And that was a chemistry throw because Dak threw it like, back shoulder because he could not lead him because if Dak led him, that defender would have destroyed Brooks.
Right.
And Brooks caught that hole, and it was really a first down. Mike just didn't challenge it.
Challenged the wrong play.
Like, so when these young wide receivers are playing, they're making big time plays. How you can't really get them off the field. Now, if they was effing up, I think everybody will continue to say, okay, let's see Flournoy. Let's trade for Devontae Adams. Let's do this. But we got to get those young guys. They showed up.
Yeah, and they have to ramp up first. Like, I know there were some fans out there, some creators out there saying that, I only saw him out there a couple times, or he wasn't really out there. And I'm like, these guys have to ramp up. Like, even Flournoy said himself, like, look, I haven't played since the preseason.
Right.
It's been about 4 or 5 weeks, you know what I'm saying? So, and those aren't necessarily against the starters. Like, granted, he did go against Jack Jones, but those aren't necessarily against the starters. So when you're out over a month, just like Bland, like, they want to work him in slowly, right? And even this week, they decided to let him wait until after the bye week. So someone like Flournoy, who isn't necessarily coming off an injury, but you don't want him going out there full speed trying to take on these guys who, number one, he hasn't even been in the regular season game yet, so he has to get game speed. He has to get game speed ready.
Right.
And I thought he was. I mean, just like you spoke about, sis, about his blocking out there. I thought he was doing decent.
Who you talking about?
Ryan Flournoy.
Oh yeah,
Ryan was getting busy out there.
Flo did a good job. What I'm seeing, sis, and this is what I'm saying, guys. Like, I know it's easy to just look at your team and win and losses, but it's so much deeper than that because Flo was out there blocking. That was that the Giants? Was it
Steelers.
This week? No, that
Steelers.
was
Mm-hmm.
So Flo was out there blocking. Then did y'all see y'all number one wide receiver lead blocking? With that big pass that was to Jake Ferguson.
Two defenders.
Like, that's what I'm saying. The guys, it feels like the team is really buying in, and it feels like they're starting to get it.
Right.
They're starting to get it. Like, everybody do your job at all times. Stay engaged in the game at all times. Don't say,
right.
"Oh, I'm just out here to block." Oh, like no,
right.
block.
Right. And you can kind of see that too, like in past years, and even I'll even say, kind of early on in this season, you saw a few guys kind of whipping on some blocks, and it's like, and on the defensive side as well. Like I think these guys on both sides of the ball kind of having whiffs in some of these games. You kind of see where the mistakes are, right? So the coach can kind of come back and be like, okay, so you see what happens with this when you do this right. You see what happens when you're playing hero ball. You see what happens when you don't follow the assignment. Okay, so let's just say, not saying that they're saying this, but let's just say Zimmer said, okay, for this particular game, try it the way I taught you. Try it this way. You may not be used to it. It may not be, muscle memory right now, but just try it this way and see if it works. They come out and play the Steelers. They play tough. Like you said, sis, more consistent blocking. Like you mentioned earlier, Schoonmaker, hell of a blocker Sunday evening. Brevin Span 4 making lanes for Rico, hell of a blocker. Like you said, these guys, not saying these guys aren't looking for the numbers and not looking for reception, they're not looking for the attention, but these guys are still young, right? The guys that I'm speaking about, even some of the receivers. I mean, CD is still young, compared to other receivers around the league.
Jalen Tolbert, and it's Brooks. Like, it's not perfect, right? Like, we're not saying it's perfect. We ain't saying that these guys aren't missing plays, missing a block here and there, but it just takes chemistry, right? Yeah. And it feels like the guys are buying in. So they may mess up a rep, then they come right back. They get a good block. They're springing forward runs. Yes. They're giving Dak time to get the ball out. Like these, I feel like the team is just playing together as a team. And you know what else I realized from the last game? I think Dak is at peace and he's so happy because I think Dak finally realizes, like, I don't have to play perfect. Right. Because that's what really, when you really look at it last week, that's what when you look at what happened last week, that's what that game kind of meant, because you had your quarterback turn the ball over 3 times. Any past year, Dak turned the ball over 3 times, we're getting blown out.
Yeah, seriously.
We're getting blown out. But the fact that Dak turned the ball over 3 times and you didn't see anybody pouting, you didn't see, the defense was really like, oh, we up, let's go. Right. You didn't see the defense. Turn it over again.
That's a huge point. That's a huge point, Star, because even when I was watching the game, I saw when Dak threw the interception when he was going to Tolbert. I happened to see Maris, I think it was through the 22. I think I seen Maris on the sideline. Almost pretty much when he saw the defense was actually catching the ball, he ran right for his helmet. And you can also see the other guys on the sideline running for their helmets and coming around the
immediately.
field.
Like they weren't like, God, this nigga messing up again. Right. They were like, come on, gotta go.
Because to your point, sis, that's one thing I noticed about Pat Freiermuth on the Steelers. It wasn't necessarily this week, but I did see when I was kind of rewatching some of their games, like when Justin Fields they're either he either gets sacked, or like when the play when Pickens fumbled that ball and I think the defender jumped on it when they played the Colts. Mm-hmm. You could actually visually see Freiermuth's body language, like and it's like you said, like that speaks to, number one, that speaks to their what's the word? Their demeanor on the field, and also, like you said, the energy that they give out to other players. Like, a player already knows that they messed up, right? So you don't want to see a player, scoffing or, oh man, you did this. You know what I'm saying? Even today, like when I was seeing just some clips from the Oklahoma and Texas game, when they had, when they were having a lot of turnovers, like a lot of the body language of some of the players on the field, it kind of shows through, and that's what we're talking about with CD, right? In past games, when some of his demeanor would kind of show, whether you believe it or not, that does have an effect on other players on the field. So, that's
especially like your leaders. Like, your mindset as a teammate should be, it doesn't matter what my teammates are doing. I need to do my job. And I feel like in years past, our defense, and hey, Angie, glad to see you. Our defense did not have that mindset. It was, go back and watch I promise, go back and watch the interviews right before the playoff game last year. The B reporters are asking, what's so different about this year? What's special? You know what the defensive players were saying? We got Dak.
Facts. That's a huge point.
That's what you're saying we got Dak. That's what these players in these years past, they've been riding Dak Prescott's coattails, and they've been hiding behind him. So, because they know if we win, it's that. If we lose, it's that. I don't have to have any accountability. I could just say, oh, Dak messed up. That's why we lost. Now, Grant, I'm not saying any player has ever said that, but I'm just saying, like, it feels like these players, like, they understand their responsibility now. It's not about your quarterback going out there and playing perfect, because your quarterback can't do that. Because if they go out there trying to say, I can't make a mistake, they're going to make mistakes. I know that from personal experience. Anytime I try to do something where I'm uptight and I'm like, I can't mess up, I mess up.
Right. I mean, we saw that with Turpin in years past, right? I mean, he barely got on the field. You know, he only really was doing returns like that. So when we did get him involved in the offense, he was dropping passes. He was jittery, or he was fumbling. We saw even on special teams when he was doing those punt return, we saw fumbling. It's just like we got to get the ball into this guy's hands, so that way we saw with Hunter Licky. I don't know if it was nerves or if it was the handoff or anything like that, but we saw him fumbling at the 1 yard line. We got to get the ball into these guys' hands, so that way when the opportunity when the lights do get bright,
they're ready.
That way they're not scary.
Exactly. They got to be ready, and so.
And also, before you go to your point, as far as post-game interviews, I've even seen, this year, as far as CD, like you said, CD speaking to the fact that, hey, we don't necessarily care about numbers. We don't care about, he said we, but I'm sure, he's encompasses in this as well, where they're not focused on the numbers or how many reps I get or how many passes I get. Like CD will say, okay, whenever I have the ball, my objectivity is to be able to go score. But even he changed that, I think, within a week, and he said, okay, whenever we have the ball, whenever a player does make a big play, whenever we have the ball, period, our objective is to go score. So you can just kind of see in my opinion, the kind of the growth and some of the change in CD, like you said, him going out and taking on 2 blockers. I think CD is really just showing just some growth this season.
Right, just super mature. And then, because people keep asking, well, what's going on? You know how the media do? They're trying to get these players riled up, because they're like, CD, you got all these targets in the first half. What's going on? Why your numbers look like this? And he was like, well, he was like, teams. He's like, basically, in the first half, teams don't expect me and Dak to come out that hot. So they don't play the same coverages because they feel like, okay, y'all gotta take some time to get going.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, CD and Dak throwing crazy throws, CD making crazy catches. And so that's why, and he's like, in the second half of the game, they adjust the coverage or whatever. But he was like, but that's why it's so big what the young guys did last week, because now if Dak is making every single read on the field a potential threat, you're gonna think twice now about, okay, we can just cloud coverage to CD. We can just double CD. Okay, go ahead and double CD, and Turpin is gonna get a touchdown. Go ahead and double CD, and Tolbert is gonna get this. Go ahead and double him. That's what we're trying to do now. We're trying to show people, okay, you cannot sit here and just think you're just gonna, because see, that's what they did last year. We'll just double CD and everything else, because they didn't have faith in any of the other wide receivers.
And they actually bit the Steelers a couple times in the butt, right? Because I mean,
a lot of times.
Meanwhile, they double covering CD, and now you pretty much leaving Tolbert a one-on-one.
Tolbert one-on-one, Brooks.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen, surprisingly, Jake Ferguson wide the F open.
Right. Jake Ferguson, big game that Fergie got the last game where CD did the lead block, Fergie was wide open.
And the Brevin span 4 too was open, I think, on either all his targets open. Or I think the time when like you mentioned earlier, when he dropped the pass, I think he was double covered, but the other 2 times, sis, wide open.
Right. And you're right, Angie, like these players now, they're now, because see, you have to make yourself a threat in the NFL.
Right.
The NFL is not going to respect you. These defensive coordinators, they're not going to respect you until they can see, we probably need to look out for this guy, because if we don't, that can hurt us here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I was even shocked when, they literally, Dak literally went to Tolbert 2 plays earlier in the end zone on the incomplete pass. I think he said he drew the, when he accidentally got knocked, in the private area.
In the cojones.
So I'm just like, and Tolbert has been going off in this game against the Steelers. So the last play of the game, you don't double coverage. Of course you need double coverage to CD, but you don't think twice about Tolbert. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, like you said, like you said earlier, like now they're making him think twice. Making the teams think twice about Tolbert now.
Exactly. What's up? This is the new guy? Aiden Toxic Lounge, shout out.
Oh, that's Splenda Poppy.
Oh, Splenda Poppy.
Like he changed his name.
His name. What's up, Splenda?
What's up, Splenda
Can
Poppy?
I still call you Poppy?
Right.
What's up, Poppy? And this another thing. Well, we haven't talked about Hunter Lukey.
Facts.
And Hunter Lukey,
and on fourth downs too, like it's not just, you know what I'm saying, he's not just the guy you look for a quick conversion or anything like that.
This guy has become a real play. So this is what I was excited about coming into this season. I know everybody wanted to keep the vet wall, or they wanted us to go out and get all these free agents. I get that. But look at the beauty of your young guys having the opportunity, because the thing is, if you have these veterans in front of them, they don't have the opportunity.
Right.
And what we're realizing from these young guys is they just needed the opportunity. They needed real game plans for them to help them get incorporated in the offense.
Right.
And clearly, like last year and years past, we couldn't do that because we had so many veterans here where there was just really no place. There was no place for the young guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like, y'all just sit on the bench, and if somebody gets hurt, you can come in. But now, and for these young guys to rise to the occasion, because let's be honest, this could have went south. This plan that the front office had, where we gonna bet on the young guys, it could have went south. These guys could have been straight up ass. They could have been terrible, dropping balls left and right, not getting goals. I mean, it could have been bad. It could have been bad because that's the risk of the unknown. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that these young guys are really stepping up, and the one thing I want to say is, she said, "Don't do it. Don't get it front office props." I'm not giving them props. I'm just saying, like, this shit could have went totally. And I don't know, but right now it's looking like can't say it's the right decision, but right now it's faring well for us. That's all I will say. It's faring well for us. I don't know. We won't know to the end of the season if this was the right decision. Right. But I think that what we've seen now is it's more about the young guys stepping up than the front office. Yeah. Because I think another thing I want to talk about too, in Dak's interview, Dak is crazy. Like, y'all gotta listen to Dak because he on a different level. Like, the way he so talks,
free now.
Like, exactly. He's so free. Like, you would never get this. The stuff that Dak say now, like, you wouldn't get this in years past. But because they were asking him about the comment, because CD was saying jump balls for jump ball, but people were trying to act like they had a beef and I was wrong about that, because even during the game, I'm like, yo, direct the energy towards, on the field.
Right. That came back wrong. I'm like,
right. And Chris Collinsworth was it. Yeah, you can clearly see they're not on the same page. Whatever, he was trying to do what the media guys do. Yeah. But Dak was like, it was hilarious when I was seeing that, because he was like, people were saying, oh, CD went off on Dak, and he was like, I was like, where? How? When? Like, when? And then they were like, so is that, like, how do you deal with that? They were like, how do you deal with, like, guys saying, we want the ball? Dak was like, no guy comes up to me ever. Right. And he said, we don't do that. Like, basically, like, none of them niggas would ever come. Sorry, I said the M-word. But none of them ninjas.
That's all camera star right there.
None of them ninjas. Dak was basically like, do you know who I am? Like, none of them ninjas is going to come up to me and say nothing. Like, he was like, because they were like, well, wide receivers or, guys will say, hey, I was open. He was like, that don't exactly. Like, ain't nobody coming up to me and talking about, hey, that guy was open. I'm open. Give me the ball. Like, that's not even what we do here.
That's a huge point, Star, because we speak about it all the time, the relationship that Dak builds, not with just his number one receiver, not just the number one tight end. Like, even last year, you can see the difference between last year and this year, where last year he took some receivers, he took his number, took Jake Ferguson, but this year he took the whole damn offense pretty much, right? I mean, to what, Oregon, Atlanta, wherever
they went to
Oregon this year. So he's clearly trying to build a relationship with, and not just his receivers, his old linemen. He speaks about how he has a close relationship with Tyler Guyton, how he's consistently hyping him up, not hyping him up, but giving them
just
encouragement. How tell him how he plays well, even when Skyton doesn't think he does when he does play well. Even Cooper Beebe, he spoke about how Dak constantly gives him encouragement. And talks saying he's his ultimate corrector, right? So they had that confidence, not just on the player side where they have the confidence with Dak, but Dak can also have that relationship with the player to where he can actually build the trust with all these players on his team.
Right. That's exactly. And shout out to Marcus and LaDonna. Really appreciate all of y'all. Yeah, y'all right. We gotta say ninja. You right. Gotta say ninja. I slipped up. That's okay. YouTube, don't get me. Right. But
and that's facts, Andy. They all respect.
They respect Dak. Like, to me, that's what this season looked like. Like, do y'all believe in your quarterback? Do y'all respect him? Because the years past, it's like, how dare y'all play like this when you know how much work and effort and time Dak puts into not only his craft, but this team. How much he pours into this team.
Right.
And the way that these guys was playing, like, you're not playing as a reflection of your leader. And somebody said I think that was Nisi, she said since the Saints game, that's why I believe after the Ravens game, Dak said, jump off if you want, because he saw it from his team. He saw it looked like we couldn't stop nothing. And then in the second half, we came roaring back. Yep. Even though we lost, we still came roaring back. And that to Dak showed, okay, we have the right type of guys here with the right mindset now. Yeah. Now we don't have guys who say, oh, I got punching them out. Let's give up. Let's give up. Let's throw in the towel. Because basically, that's what happened last playoff game. Wanye Thomas, he said it. He said after the second drive, when the Green Bay went down and scored again, he said basically they checked out. He said the defense checked out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say, and you can see it too in the effort of the play. You know what I'm saying? In the missed tackles, like this season, we're seeing missed tackles, but it's early in the season, granted, but you can see the effort behind it. The guys are in the right space. It's just these guys are running right by them. But in the preseason game, you're just not even really seeing the effort that really should be going forth in the playoff game. I'm saying you should be giving your all in the playoff game. So it did make a lot of sense when Wanya came out and actually said that, because it's like we know. Number one, we know it's late in the season. I know DeMarcus Lawrence came saying that we were tired, stuff like that. But we know it's late in the season. We know you guys have played a lot of football throughout the whole year, but this is a different type of effort you give in playoff games, right? So we just didn't see that. So to your point, sis, to see this year, like we know in years past that the guys have stood 10 toes for Dak, have been backing him up, support him in the media, things like that. But we've only seen it. We've seen it everywhere but on the field, right? To your point. So it's just like for these guys to finally, like you said, to be able to come together and actually put their trust in their quarterback and to play like you said, like it's not saying that they're not worried about stats or anything like that, but for them to actually, for CD, number one, like I said to my point earlier, for CD to come out and say that, hey, we're not worried about that. We're worried about going out and scoring
and winning.
Putting up points and winning for our team to be able to move forward, to be able to get through, really this tough time. I mean, I can't remember the last time we've really been ravaged by this many injuries. So,
right.
And these guys see it too.
We haven't been ravaged by this many injuries in Mike McCarthy's whole time. Like, we're getting hit with a lot.
Yes. And week to week too.
Yeah, week to week. We're getting hit with a lot of injuries. So, good night, Jameson. Thank you for joining us. We always appreciate when you
appreciate you, Jameson.
when you join in with our chats. But yeah, I mean, this team, this is what I said I wanted to see from this team this year. In the offseason, I said, and I think shout out to Rome, Cowboys fan talk. He said it first. He was like, the way our schedule is set up, there will be no time. What's up, 100 Gram and Rico? Those are two of my favorite guys, loyal supporters. Appreciate you guys. But Rome was saying in the offseason that the way our schedule is set up, we won't have the mirage that we're a good team. We will know exactly who our team is this year. Because last year, it was a mirage, right? Where we believed all of these things. And even the 3 and 4 letter networks were saying, Colin Cowherd, who hates the Cowboys, hates Dak Prescott, he was like, look at this. Like, if you look at these numbers, like only Super Bowl teams put up these type of numbers and blah, blah, blah. So it was a lot of stuff. But what we weren't seeing is that in the big games, we kept coming up short.
Right.
In the big games, we were not able to run the ball and we were not able to stop the run. So it was like the warts were there, but that was only 4 to 5 games out of the schedule. So, and that was the 5 games we lost, right? So,
right,
so
yeah.
you wasn't really paying attention to that. But now, with our schedule is hard. Like there is no easy team on our schedule besides the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
And even we played them last year, and there wasn't no high scoring game.
Right.
So we really don't have. There's no easy schedule.
Right. And to your point, I mean, not saying the division was always easy to play against, but even this year the Giants were a little bit tougher, right? I mean, for whatever reason, we were going through a struggle fight with the Giants this past time in their home. You know what I'm saying? It'd be one thing if we struggle with them, in our house, but in their home, I kind of take it because of the travel and everything. Short week, like we talked about earlier, Thursday, we did, acquire a couple of injuries or kind of some nicks in that game, but. Yep. I mean, the Giants were a different team. We haven't played them yet, but we see what Washington is doing. Me personally, I don't think they played anyone that strong.
They ain't played nobody strong.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, regardless, they've been putting up big numbers.
Moving. I will say one thing I do respect about them is that they move the ball down the field. Now, I did see today that unfortunately, hopefully he doesn't get better, but Brian Robinson Jr. is going to be out of the game tomorrow. But hopefully he does get better. But that's one thing I did notice that they lean on him. They lean on McLaurin. Finally he's finally getting some work together to be able to move the ball down the field. So we see they have some pieces. Of course, we know Philly is Philly. They're gonna Philly when we play Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Granted, they're missing their the two wide receivers. Hopefully. They get better as well. And I never wish injury, on another team, but we know, we're not going to, be sure how they're going to look by the time we do face them. But like I said, I mean, like you were saying to your point, Star, like this schedule this season, and there's no me first kind of looking into the season, kind of coming into it early, seeing teams like the Bucks, seeing the Bengals when they were 0-4. I'm like, okay, we may have a couple of breaks down the down the way, but. Yeah. I think there's, like you said, literally, besides the Panthers, and even they made, hey, we facing them late down in the season, y'all, in December, so we don't know. And now they got Dalton thinking they doing something, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm sorry, the Red Rifle,
Rifle,
coming out of retirement, thinking he's doing something. Like we may even see a different Carolina team this season. So I think you're right, sis. I think there's literally
we don't have any
easy team.
We have no breaks this season. There's no breaks. It's just hard team after hard team after hard team after hard team after another hard team after another hard team. So we definitely don't have. There will be no mirage. There will be no we're this, but we really this. We will know exactly who our team is. And shout out to this guy. I've never seen him, but his name's Mailman Phil. And he said the defense actually played Zimmer's defense without the star players in Pittsburgh. Hopefully that continues. No hero ball.
Facts.
I agree with that. Agree with that.
And shout out to you, Mailman Phil. I am also a mail lady myself, so I don't know if you still delivering mail, but hey, respect to you. Appreciate you, man.
Shout out. But yeah, I think that shows true. And people, I think Ryan Clark, he was like, the defense playing better without Michael Parsons. It's like, shut up. Like it may seem, but really the defense is just playing together. You know what I'm saying? And I think they was already building with that with Micah. So don't try to act like, Micah's the problem. D-Law's the problem. Like, let's not do that.
Exactly.
Let's not do that.
Because Micah is the one building it. Just we talking about Dak building relationships. Micah as well has been building relationships with not just the guys in the defensive room, but also a guy like Tyler Guyton on the opposite side of the ball. And we know how close him and Trey are, but him building the relationships with other guys on the line, kneeling. He spoke about having a relationship with Nealon, not just because I know early on I spoke about in the season about Nealon and Greg Ellis having a close relationship, but hearing Micah speak about how he consistently talks to Nealon about how, hey man, you got this, you could be this when you get further along in the league, pumping these guys
Mozzie's
up.
ascension,
you know what I'm saying,
is because of Micah. Like, so let's not. And D-Law has had his hands on Nealon and everything, so let's not. The media always wanted to get carried away, and they're just trying to spin narratives like, oh, does the defense even need DeMarcus Lawrence? Do they even need Micah?
Girl.
Oh, look at how they're playing. Oh, well, it's like, just shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't have nothing to do with, these players are toxic or whatever. It's like, I think the defense is super locked in because you are missing two cornerstones of your defense.
Right.
So they know I cannot mess up.
Like literally, like literally, like not saying that Mike is the only strong player on the field, but hey, I mean, when you're missing your two back wheels, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the front wheels got to work a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So somebody got to be back there pushing,
Somebody's
right?
Got to
you
work
feel
harder.
Me?
Exactly.
Like,
Somebody's got to work harder. So that's exactly right. Like, so don't get caught up, guys. I think what we need to take from it as Cowboys fans is, damn, this is how our defense is playing without our best. So what we need to be saying is, imagine how we're going to look when we get the cavalry, when we get Deron Bland back, when we get Micah Parsons back, when we get D-Law back, when we get Marshawn Nealon back. That's what we need to be focusing on. Like, we need to be proud of the team continuing to win, even though we are literally ravaged with injury. Not, start, saying crazy stuff like we don't need the leaders of our defense and all of that type of crazy, because that's just crazy nonsense. But what I want to say, I think what would be good is we can talk a little bit about, and I named this show like Doing the Unexpected. And I think, everybody, again, last week, they expected us to lose. This week, they expect, especially without Eric Kendricks, they're like, yeah, y'all for sure losing. Like, there's no way y'all are going to win this game.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, all I keep hearing about is how great, Jared Goff went 18 for 18. They got the best offensive line in football. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got Jameson Williams. They got
the best running back duo in the league.
Right, the best running. So we just keep hearing about, and granted, the Lions are a very good team. Period.
Yeah.
Very good team. But it's like, y'all speaking about their offense, but what about our offense? We only missing one person on offense. We just missing Brandon Cooks. We're not missing anybody else. And y'all forgot about Dak Prescott. And even though the Lions' offense is super high powered, their defense is not good.
Right.
They are bottom in the league. Their defense, let me tell you, their defense is worse than our defense. And that's with 2 blowouts.
Right.
So let's be clear about that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is the type of stuff where it's like, I get it. The Lions this and they got Ben Johnson. That's great. And I'm not saying that the Lions can't beat us. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they can't beat. Like, of course they can. They're a very good team. They were in the NFC Championship last year. But to me, the Lions are our little brother because we've had, even in the Romo days, we've had their number, period. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And to me, just like Green Bay has our number, no matter who the quarterback is, no matter who the coach is, they have our number.
I mean, the Cardinals, Arizona.
That's what I'm saying. The Cardinals. Look, we thought we was going to smoke the Cardinals last year. And guess what? We got smoked. So I just think people need to just chill out. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. Again, we play better. We play better when we are the underdogs. Let's just be honest. We play better when they're underdogs, when it's unexpected. Everybody's like, there's no way y'all can win. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys are. That's how we became America's team. Right? That's how we became America's team, because we were literally the underdog. We were literally the people, everybody counted us out. Like, y'all not good, y'all blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But then we were finding ways to win. So that's what it means. To me, it's like this season is almost like a, exactly. We want to, that's what I'm saying. Like, this stuff is crazy. Like, it's like, I get it. Detroit is good. Jared Goff is good. I'm not taking nothing away from Detroit. They got Aiden Hutchinson. Like, Aiden Hutchinson leading the league in sacks and pressures.
Right, even with the bye week. Yeah.
With the bye week.
Yeah, and to your point, Star, I think he got five of those sacks in one game against the Bucks.
Did
I
he?
think
I don't know. I don't be
and
watching
yeah,
them.
I could have rewatched the Bucks versus the Lions game. I think he got five of those sacks in that one particular game.
Yeah.
And I think he has, maybe 70 to 80% of the whole team of the team sacks in its entirety. So I'm not saying there are no other guys going off. Not saying no one else is even doing anything, but
right.
I mean, to your point earlier, I think Hutchinson is really the biggest piece of the puzzle, right? So I think if we find a way to stop him, we'll be able to kind of move the ball a little bit more. Hopefully, continue this run game. To your earlier point about these guys having opportunity, that's one thing that's been ringing true in some of Rico's interviews. Like he spoke about just having opportunity, because we've seen him in just last year, but even being behind Tony Pollard, he didn't get a great amount of opportunity because it seemed like whenever he would get some sort of burst, McCarthy would go either right back to Pollard, or we'd be in a game where we can't really have an effective run game. And even we saw that coming into the season now, but now McCarthy actually finally sticking with the play calling and sticking with Rico and just seeing how he seems to get better the more carries that he gets throughout the game. So
and that's where any running back, like the running backs, running backs have to get in a rhythm. Like you gotta give your running backs north of 10 carries if you want to be able to see any sort of effectiveness from them. And I like what y'all putting in. Key says we got to run at Aiden. Absolutely. We need to run at him.
We did that with Watt.
Right. We did that with Watt. Like, run at him.
Right. We literally threw game. Dak literally threw the ball at Turpin, and Watt was like literally in Turpin's face. And Turpin was like, "Psych."
That's what we got to do. Like that's what you got to do. If you want to be able to, because you're not going to completely, because we eliminate Watt? No, he got a sack fumble. So you can't eliminate these type of players, but you can scheme for them, and you can help, like doing quick passes, running the ball, doing play action, and a lot of those things, because that's what's going to help us. And that's what keeps Aiden Hutchinson is a high motor guy. So, he lives if you're just going to sit here and think you're just going to pass all day. And I want us to get down and dirty, because another thing with Aiden Hutchinson, I don't care what nobody say, he a dirty player. And he almost broke Dak's leg off last game twice.
Right.
So when he's pass rushing, he's coming for blood. I think that's how Dan Campbell coaches them to play. Y'all remember that speech Dan Campbell gave when he first became the head coach? We gonna rip their kneecaps off, and then we gonna rip their arms off, and we gonna, that's how he talks to them. That's how he coaches them. Yeah. Like, come for blood, hurt them if you have to. We don't care. That's how he teaches them to play.
Right.
So the way that you counteract that type of mindset is run the ball straight at them.
And that Dan Campbell feels a way about this game from last season, right?
He does. They think we shouldn't have won last year.
If you just watch some of his pressers from this week, just being asked about the Cowboys, he's like, he cannot stand still, sis. I'm serious. Like, if you guys have time, I know it's last minute, end of the week, ready for the game, but. If you just watch it, was a few of his pressers, like he cannot stand still. Talk. He's like, oh no, we got to come in. We're on the mission. But it's like he's antsy about it, y'all. So he's definitely coming back. With not saying like you said, to your point, I'm sure that's how he coaches the players, but he's coming back with something in mind. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like he's gonna come out in this game again. They think that they should have beaten us last game. Really, we should have blown y'all out because we had 2 turnovers that should have been touchdowns. But anyway, they think that it was stolen from them and that they should have won. What's up, Amp?
What's good, Amp?
What's up, Amp?
Good to see you, man.
glad to we together, Amp. Yeah. So, but shout out to Amp. Y'all go subscribe to Amp. Great content creator.
Yeah.
He said lost because of his
yes, talk about it, sis. Cover. Yes, Niecy. Yes.
That's true, but that's how Dan Campbell, like, he can't. When we say Detroit can't stand us, because we live in Detroit head, because why y'all worried about us? Y'all Mr. NFC Championship. Y'all the big, we got first round exit.
Right. Y'all should be worried about the North right now.
Exactly. We got first round exit, so I don't even see why y'all so threatened by us, but they clearly, we live in Detroit hates us. So they want to win this game more than anything.
Right. What was it? Almond Ross St. Brown talking about J. Lou?
Yeah, like we live in these guys' heads. It's like, what is y'all? And what's crazy is J. Lou was like, I don't even know what I said.
Even he said it's like, look, I'm not really a fan of him. Like he made sure to clarify, look, Michigan Wolverines, and that's it. Like I ain't worried about Detroit. Like we're not even thinking about them.
Like we're not worried about. And said. That's true. That tripping call that they called on us, and it was literally like, what the hell? And then M said, "We are who they." Yeah, they envy us. They envy us. They're like, they hate us, and I feel like that's why we can use it because when you hate somebody so much, like you can't even think clearly, and that's what I want. Them emotions gonna get to them.
Yeah, I think like you said, like to the point about Dan Campbell, like. I just think it might boil over. I mean, it's your former team. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe he has.
They hate us, bro.
Yeah, maybe he feels a way about maybe the old coaching staff or maybe
Jerry.
You know what I'm saying? It's something. And that hey man, we playing the Cowboys. Now we got for some reason now they have like a regular going out because other teams we don't seem to face as much as the Lions for whatever reason. Now I'm happy that we played them in our spot. I will say that, but for the last 2-3 years we played the Lions in our house. I think 3 years in a row. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we've seen any other. I mean, even the Vikings we only see them once every year.
We play in the Lions this season. I was just thinking about that. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Because I'm like, why we playing these guys? We played them every year since 22. I think we played them 21 too. So we literally play the Lions every year.
Yeah, and how convenient for them to make the schedule this season to where we face the Lions after they're coming off a bye week.
Exactly.
Now, I personally think that's a coincidence.
You see how the NFL do us? They set this up because they want the Lions to beat us. Yeah. So they made sure, we're going to have y'all play tough-ass Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and then we're going to have the Lions coming off a bye week.
Facts.
The NFL they're trying to set this up for us to lose this year. Yeah. Like, let's just be honest.
2 home games, knowing our travel is already messed up like that late in the season. So we have, like you said, on a short week, sis. We have the Giants and then we have the Steelers. Well, 2 games within 10 days, and then we have the Lions after they're coming off a bye. I know the NFL isn't necessarily about being fair and everyone goes through injuries and but that's not a coincidence.
Right. It's not a coincidence. Y'all. And then we come off the bye, bruh. And then we got to play the 49ers.
Right.
Like, that's our
I think I tweeted.
That's our first game after the bye is the 49ers.
Bro, at least last year I think we had the 49ers and then the bye. They know how physical a game it is going against the Niners, right? And I tweeted this the other night.
The NFL gave us no breaks, bro.
Right. Like I know we don't have it the worst because I didn't look at the 49ers schedule, but just seeing that I think they just played. I forget who they just played this past weekend.
The 49ers. They played the Cardinals. They just played the Cardinals on Thursday.
And they played Cardinals and they played Seahawks. So they had a short week.
It was a Seahawks.
So they had a short week after taking the L, and then next week tomorrow they play the Chiefs, I believe. And then after going on a bye, and after we have our bye, they play the Chiefs this weekend. And after we come off our bye, they play us. So I'm not saying that, we have it worse or better than the Niners. I'm not saying I'm clocking the Niners like that, but I'm like, Cowboys Nation, we may have, some meltdowns every now and then. I know we're going with injuries and things like that, but there are teams who have it worse than us. I mean, I tweeted out a couple of weeks ago, the Colts. The Colts are missing damn near half their starters. You know what I'm saying? They're missing Taylor. They're missing their quarterback. They're missing, I think it's not Ngakoue, DeForest Buckner on the defense. So it's like, we're not the only ones going through injuries, but.
Right. Everybody is going through injuries. Right. That's what's crazy about this season is like everybody seems to be getting hit with injuries hard. But you know what I say is, and the teams that's not getting hit with injuries now, I'd be worried because it's like, okay, because injuries are going to happen.
Talk about that. That's what Nisha said earlier about. We're definitely glad to have them now as opposed to late in the season.
Right. So you have everybody getting hit with like the Commanders. They ain't got no injury. They just over there. Woo!
Right.
We got Jaden Daniels. He's the best quarterback ever. Like that's what the Commanders are so high.
They're a little blinded right now.
They are high. They're like, wow, we went to the Super Bowl. We got Jaden Daniels and. No quarterback has had this many rushing yards and passing yards in their first 5 games, and also they super super high.
Right, and shout out to Cowboys fans, like you were saying earlier. I saw Rome tweet this out earlier saying like, wow, they get off the trains, fast, right? Because now they're saying Jaden Daniels has had a better rookie season than C.J. Stroud. But like, what does CJ Stroud got anything to do with Jaden Daniels? Like
what?
So y'all just throwing up any name just to kind of big up Jaden Daniels.
Y'all know how they do. Like, I don't want to use the R word, but look at how they talk about the black quarterbacks. And then look at how they talk about the non-black quarterback. All I will say, because they're always disrespected and trying to replace the black ones, but somehow Josh Allen, no matter what he does, he is unequivocally the best quarterback. No matter what he does, he is always on everybody's list. The number. Some people say he's better than Mahomes.
Right, bro. They still got him in top 5. Like, you let anybody in that top 5 go 9 for 30 in a game.
That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not trying to get praise. But I'm just saying, look at how they talk about them. Look at how they talk about the other ones. Shout out to this guy, Daniel Richardson.
Hey, what's up, Daniel, on the Facebook side? What's up?
He said, we will be all right. Our team will be tougher mentally because... Sorry, I'm trying to put that up. They said, yep, because 2 were trash too. Yeah. They said, we will be all right. Our team will be tougher mentally because of this game. And we are definitely better from the Pittsburgh game. Everybody's picking the Lions. We are going to win tomorrow.
Facts, Daniel. And I'm so glad you said that. Like, and we were talking about that earlier, right? About it's not even necessarily from the Pittsburgh game, but really this season, right? Like you said about our schedule being tougher. Mm-hmm. I mean, they really, like you said, not saying that and never ever saying the Cowboys are hiding behind finesse or saying they're hiding behind playing the NFC East, but this season is just different. I'm saying, unfortunately, we were placed with pretty much all. I mean, I'm not gonna say all, because I know Saints were in the playoffs. I know Steelers I think they barely missed the playoffs, but we're facing essentially playoff teams. I mean, the Saints scored 40 points in the first couple of weeks of the season.
The Saints. So, I mean, the Saints. I don't know if they'll be a playoff team or not, because Derek Carr is out. Yeah, they said he's out. That. He's going. I think they might even put him on IR, but who knows? Hey, there's a lot of people that believe in Spencer Rattler, and we don't know. Spencer Rattler could come out here, ball out, and they like, Carr who?
Yeah, because I mean, we talk about that. That's one thing when you,
who that?
When
that's
you
gonna
throw
be saying, who that?
Pulling on your own quarterback. No.
I'm telling you, some people really believe it.
Yeah.
They saying Spencer Rattler is low-key the best quarterback in this draft. You know, even though he wasn't drafted in the first round, whatever. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Right. I mean, because one thing when you throw a rookie out there week 1, right? But I mean, he's had time to sit behind Carr, see how. I mean, he hasn't had game speed yet, but I mean, hey, if you can learn, like that's what we're talking about with Trey Lance, right? And not saying comparing Trey Lance and Dak, but we were saying Trey needed time to sit behind somebody and then develop, and then be able to get in the game. Like, you imagine Trey going somewhere, maybe spending 4 to 5 weeks, maybe even because you already had preseason, but maybe spending 2 to 3 weeks behind a quarterback, seeing how the system works, and then being put out there, not just someone you can just throw out there week 1 preseason. Okay, go ahead and play. Now, all rookies can't do that. Shout out to CJ Stroud, who was able to do that.
Right.
Shout out to Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Daniels. There's some quarterbacks who can come in and they can just get it going.
Yeah. But they have those pieces. They have those pieces. We saw the pieces that CJ Stroud had. We saw the pieces that Jaden has.
That's what I'm saying. No, to me, you can say I'm biased, but no rookie quarterback will ever have the season that Dak Prescott had. No, because CJ Stroud, you was the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
You they loaded the roster up. Then you had DeMeco Ryans, the best upcoming defensive mind coach. Like, they just had so much shit going for them.
Right.
Like, Dak Prescott was a 4-string quarterback. A 4-string quarterback that everybody got hurt, and they were like, all right, we guess we'll let this ninja go in. We ain't got no more quarterbacks.
Literally the last resort.
And Dak stole the job. Like, no quarterback. I don't care.
And even in the meantime, Jerry was talking about something. Oh yeah, when Roman will get better, he'll be back out there.
And you had your owner saying, wouldn't it be great if somehow we could get Romo back? Wouldn't it be? You see what I'm saying? So, no quarterback, I don't care. And I've even looked at the numbers with Dak and CJ Stroud. Dak still had better numbers. So, it's just like this. And I'm not hating on the young quarterbacks or whatever. I'm proud. I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they're succeeding in their organizations. But I'm just saying, until you have a 4th string and below quarterback come in with no reps with the ones.
Facts.
Front office that didn't want him.
And they'll put pieces around them.
Didn't put pieces around
for
him.
years.
You had the ghost of Des Bryant and the ghost of Jason Witten. Like until with Jason Garrett as your head, until you have with Scott Linehan calling the plays, until you have all of those factors against you, then I'll be able to have conversations about, okay, maybe your rookie season was better than that. But until then, no. Like the answer is no.
No.
The answer is no.
No, facts, bro. I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's just like you said, like speaking about this year, players stepping up and playing behind Dak. Like you said, like first you can say first 6-7 years. Like, you know, they can say, yeah, we put these pieces in place for Dak. Yeah, he had a Zeke, coming in when he came in at the same time.
That's what everybody say, he had Zeke. I'm like, bruh, people had me believe. I had to go back and watch the games because I'm like, bruh, was it really that Dak was just doing what Brock Purdy and Tua Tagovailoa just check downs? No, bruh, Dak was making throws. Now, he made them not. I'm not saying Dak was just Aaron Rodgers or anything like that, but Dak was making throws, like high level NFL throws when the scout said he would be a tight end at best in the league.
What? No, I never knew that. Hold up, there
were scouts that were saying like Dak Prescott would be a tight end.
It's amazing, and that is crazy you said, because I just recently watched that, and I know it's kind of a sidetrack. I recently just watched that the documentary about black quarterbacks in the league. It is insane to this day they're still trying to change the position of the black quarterback when they're coming to the league, because for whatever reason, and we see the league is pretty much made of 50% plus black quarterbacks. I mean, for whatever reason, just last year or a couple years ago was the first time we ever seen two black quarterbacks match up against each other in the Super Bowl. It's insane that it's just you trying to change a quarterback to a tight end. Making them even back then in the years past.
That's crazy. That's what a lot of people were saying.
Putting quarterbacks at DB.
People did not believe. A lot of people did not believe in that person. Again, the front office didn't even want that. They wanted Paxton Lynch or they wanted Johnny Manziel or somebody.
No, I think it was Paxton.
Paxton Lynch. Johnny Manziel. I don't even know exactly. And they're like, he wouldn't have been rookie of the year. That's what I'm saying. Like, when they had clips of Dak's highlights versus the Ravens his rookie year. I was like, is that the type of throws Dak was making his rookie year? Like, people just got Dak effed up. You know what I'm saying?
And Dak can't throw the long ball. Dak can't hit somebody down the field. Like,
I was like, y'all really had me thinking like it was just literally Dak was literally just throwing check downs his rookie. The way people talk about who are really like, the people who say Romo should have started in 2016, all that stuff, But whatever. But anyway, we've been on this show long as hell.
We've been vibing, y'all. We appreciate everybody coming through. But
thank y'all so much.
We can go ahead.
How should we end the show? Wrap it up.
Well, I don't necessarily do score predictions, but what I will say is I think in this game tomorrow, what I'll see, or what I think we'll see from our young players.
Look at this. They wanted Lamar trainers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. Like, I've never heard that with, and I don't mean no harm, but I've never heard that with white quarterbacks where you're trying to make a quarterback a defensive back.
You don't hear
or
that.
A tight end.
You don't hear that.
What?
You don't hear that.
They a running back.
Right. They only do it with this skin color quarterback.
Right.
But anyway.
Like, it's just crazy. Like, I really never knew that. Like, I'm glad you pointed that out to me, because I really never knew they tried to make Dak a tight end.
Yeah. Bro, there were people who literally said that Dak would. There were scouts, there were NFL teams that were saying, we think after Dak led a team of no names to number one in the country with Mississippi State, they said, we think Dak had no business even going in the fourth round.
Right.
With Dak's resume, what he did, Dak should have been a first, second rounder minimum.
For real though. And throughout the years,
that's why Dak was pissed off. He was pissed off because he was like,
they come with that chip on their shoulder.
There's no way with my resume that I should have gone in the fourth round. No way. There are quarterbacks who did far less than him in college on boo-boo ass teams. Dak played in the SEC. Like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we don't want to get too much into it. I'm just saying, I don't want to be because I can go on a rant about that all day. But anyway, it's fine. But I guess how we should just wrap it up is
Oh, that was one point I want to say is that I know these past few weeks, like we talked about other teams we faced, like the Saints, the Ravens, Steelers.
Mhm.
What I will say, the Cowboys probably mainly had the only plan for not only plan, but they mostly had the plan for a Najee Harris, a Derrick Henry, right? They had Justice Hill, but we saw more Henry, you know what I'm saying? And even against the Saints, we saw mostly Kamara. We really didn't, which I was surprised that we didn't see a lot of, not Jameson Williams. Who's their, I forget who their backup running back is right now, but we didn't even see a lot of him, and he's a great backup for them. His name is Jameson. I forget his name. If you guys can be out with the backup running back for the Saints, he's the backup to Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, it's a Jameson Williams.
Is it? That's what I thought. I thought
Yeah,
it was the same name. So I'm like, we didn't even see a lot of him, and he actually got some great yards against us even early in the game. But they just kept going with Kamara, of course, because he was killing us. But I understand that. But I'm saying that. So all in all, the Cowboys mostly had to plan for one main rushing attack. Like granted, we did have to plan for Lamar Jackson, things like that, but one main running back. So what I'll say that the main difference for this game is that we are seeing two different styles of running backs and two of the toughest running backs in the league. So what I'll say is
and the best offensive line in the league.
That part, you know what I'm saying?
And when your defensive line is injured.
Right. Yeah. We talking about earlier being depleted.
They're depleted.
You know what I'm saying? So I think what I'll say is that if we can just somehow kind of maybe handle the running backs maybe under. I think I said earlier this week on Spaces, if we can kind of keep them under 100, 115, maybe 125 yards, kind of maybe.
Right.
Oh, Jamal Williams.
Sorry, I said Jameson, but yes,
my bad. I thought it was Jameson too.
Thank
honestly.
you, mailman. Appreciate that.
We appreciate you for real, because I will make sure I get these players' names right for real. Much respect to them. But yeah, I think if we can just kind of keep those two running backs at bay, like. They may get over 100 yards because it's split between those two, but we can kind of keep them at bay with maybe 115, 125 yards for the game, and then hopefully, I do believe in our DBs. I don't know if, and that's another thing we didn't talk about. Kalen Carson, hopefully he'll be back, because I know they kind of sidelined Deron Bland, so hopefully. Maybe that's why they decided to hold off on Bland. Maybe because Carson is a little bit closer. They said he was close to playing last week, so maybe that's why
they. For some reason, I didn't see him on the injury.
I don't know if I saw him either. Actually, speaking of, so hopefully maybe that means he's good to go. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow if they play him or
because
not.
We definitely have a different.
But they elevated Armani again, so Armani probably gonna be playing.
Right. Yeah. So he'll probably start if Kalen isn't necessarily good to go. But I think I believe in our DB, so I think if Dak is able to attack them, like you mentioned earlier, they are ranked pretty low. I think 27th.
Their defense is not good.
And
let's be honest. Yeah. Like they have Aiden Hutchinson and
Brian Branch. You know what I'm saying? And
it's just not good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they tried, and I knew from their offseason moves, I was like, is that who y'all thought? Like Carlton Davis and Terrion Arnold, like
and man, I was in the Spaces the other day with your guy Nixon. They was hyping Carlton Davis, and I'm like, the dude from the Bucks, bro. I'm like, no. I'm not saying he's not anybody, but
no, it's not that he's not anybody. He's just. He's not really a corner that you're gonna fear.
Yeah.
Sure. I feel like he can do some things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he's mostly a slot corner too. I think they got him playing outside.
I think
because Terrion Arnold is their slot. So I think they got him playing outside, but
and I can see Dak targeting the rook.
Dak targets everybody. He does not. Dak don't have respect. That's one thing about Dak. He's a maniac. He's a psychopath because he don't care who you are. He don't care what your name is. He does not care. Like he's gonna throw right at you because Dak just has more confidence in his guys than you.
Yeah,
that's just how he plays. So. Does it bite him in the butt? Yeah, it does. But that's just how he plays. But I will say that, their defense, they're ranked like 22nd in the league right now. So we all know who the Lions are. We done played them every year for like the past 3 to 4 years. They got this high-powered offense with this young guru play caller and Ben Johnson. And that's their strength. That's where they put all their money, all their resources. Defense, they kind of build their defense with patchwork. They patch it up. They've tried to draft some guys, but they really haven't, besides Aiden Hutchinson, and I do like Aleem McNeil too. Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil, their defensive tackle, good, 2 good draft picks.
Okay.
Brian Branch, as well, is pretty decent.
Yeah,
But
they spend a lot, kind of rebuilding their offense. I mean, we
right,
see how powerful their offense
all their
is
resources, like
defense.
that's what I'm saying. They're an offensive team.
Great point. Yeah.
And they control games because they do have the best running back as of now. I mean, they do have the best running back duo in the league.
Yeah.
So that's how they win games. They control the clock by running the ball down your throat, doing all these creative trick plays and all this stuff with play action.
Right.
And they score points. But when you look at the Lions game, they score a lot of points, but their defense gives up a lot of points. But that's the identity of their team. You know what I'm saying? Until they really put it, almost like the Cowboys was in years past. Like, we finally put in some real investments in our defense, but for a while we knew that this is an offensive team. This is not a defensive team. And that's exactly who the Lions are. So, the way that I would defeat the Lions is, one, you're going to obviously have to score points, because you got to score points and no mistakes. Like, last game we had mistakes. That's how they almost won.
Yeah.
Do not keep them in the game. Mistakes that we had versus the Steelers, if we do that, the Lions will win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw Keystone say earlier that each possession has to be, you have to capitalize on each possession. Because
you gotta score points, because this offense is high powered. Your defense is depleted, and their offense can score points at any moment, at any second. Yeah. So this is a game where you gotta score points, but you want to do pretty much what we've been doing. Let's get these long drives going. Like, when we did the Steelers game, that was a 19-play drive.
When I heard that, sis, I'm like 19.
That was like, damn, that was a 19-play drive. But that's what we. But people criticize Mike McCarthy, but Mike McCarthy is probably the best play caller when it comes to, we need to stay on the field. We need to have a long drive. He knows how to do that, so that's what we need to do. Because
he truly believes in giving that defense a rest.
Really, what you want to do is keep that high-powered offense off the field. You don't want to be doing 3 and outs and all of that type of stuff.
Yes.
Because the Lions, like I said, they're just too high-powered. Goff is clearly on one. His last game, he went 18 for 18. So, he's another thing is you gotta rattle Goff. So this is a game that I think I said this on Thursday, but I'm gonna say it again. This is a game where I really want to see Mike Zimmer really turn it up. Turn up the blitz, turn up the creative, turn up flipping the picture. Like, we gotta turn it up, because you can't, if you allow Jared Goff, the type of guy, if you allow Jared Goff to just sit back there all day, he is going to dice you up. Period. We already know that. That's the type of quarterback he is. Clearly, you don't go 18 for 18 if you can't dice people up. Like, he can dice you up. So you're gonna, but we know if you get him under pressure, he's gonna throw you 2 to 3 picks as well.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to do with Jared Goff. You can't allow him to be back there making cakes and doing all that type of stuff. Like, you gotta get pressure on him. Get the pressure on him all game. Confuse him. That's what you need.
I agree with you, sis, because to your earlier point about having the ball, like in the Ravens game and I believe the Giants game, they scored almost every possession. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not we held the Giants to no touchdowns, they still score field goals on every possession, y'all. Like, we need to, number one, make them punt. And like you said, keep that offense off the field. You know what I'm saying? And win the time of possession. Kind of going hand in hand in that. We need to win the time of possession, because I think in the Ravens
that's what I'm saying. We need to control the clock.
Yeah, I think the Ravens had the ball for 29 minutes, something like that. And I think in the Giants game, they had the ball for 20 plus minutes as well. So that TOP is going to be important.
Right, we got to control the clock. No turnovers. I agree with Nisi. Let's limit the penalties, please. Let's limit the penalties.
Please. And no penalties on, I'm talking about limit penalties, but no penalties on the first drive. Please, Cowboys. And now on the first 2 plays.
Every single game, we keep getting special teams penalties.
Every
game. First drive. Got a penalty. Back up. Like, come on, bro. Like, we need to play a clean. We really do need to play a clean game.
Yes.
And JV, Bland is out. They already determined. He's out Sunday. So he won't be.
Shout out to John Jones. What's up, fam?
He won't be playing. But what's up, John Jones? Glad to see you.
And another point, hopefully we're able, special teams can kind of kick in a little bit. I really want to start, not too deep in our own territory, because when we start even now, I mean, now in the,
I hate
20
that.
behind,
I hate when we gotta start deep in
I get scared.
And it's like,
scared,
it is scary. It is scary. And now,
Bruh.
luckily, like these past couple of games, like we've been able to get out of there.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to be backed up because it's such a small room of error there. Because if you F up, it could be a pick six easily, you know, or a fumble six or whatever. So
but we could see. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, get Jake Ferguson involved though, because I think there were a couple times we were in our own. I think actually one of the actual occasions was against the Lions last season when we were actually in our own end zone and Dak was able to get that long touchdown pass to CD. Now I know that doesn't happen all the time, but
that was Dak magic.
Yes, but I know. I think it was another. I think it may have been the Giants or maybe the Patriots game where Dak threw that seam ball down to Jake to get him out their own territory. So if we see more things like that, the Terp, now we got him involved in the seam. You know what I'm saying? Tolbert, and that's the thing about getting all these guys involved. Now these guys, like you said, like to your point earlier, having to plan for all these guys. You don't have to double cover CD and no, that's it. You know what I'm saying? No, like now these guys have to work even harder now.
Right, they got to work harder. We got to spread the field, and I feel like we just gotta stress that Lions defense out, because pretty much if we can keep up what we did versus the Steelers, we're gonna be a very, very, very hard offense to cover.
Yeah, because
you have an elite quarterback that can literally throw the ball anywhere at any time. Right.
And that chemistry with those guys.
And the chemistry. That's another thing. And the chemistry. Because your quarterback got chemistry with everybody.
Right. So because it's not like, I'm not saying this happened last year, but it's not like, we can't get the ball to CD. None of these other guys had that chemistry, that camaraderie with Dak to be able to, outside of Tolbert, because he would go to Tolbert on scramble plays, but even then, they would just be scramble plays. It would be just that, okay, well, I got to find somebody to go to the ball to. And we saw that happening with Tolbert just last season. So to be able to see that relationship develop to even more opportunities for Tolbert, and now it's not just scramble plays. And now, Tolbert can kind of get the feel of the game and kind of go off with some of those plays along the sideline, going out to the boundary. That's what we want him to do, right? We want him to get him more involved in the pass game, just so it's not just strictly on CD.
Exactly. But yeah. Okay, guys. Damn, it's 9:00 basically.
y'all rock with us the whole time.
I have not eaten. I'm so hungry. So I'm like, we gotta get out because we can just talk about. We could talk Cowboys football all night, all day. But Mickey is going to the game tomorrow, bro. And it's not a noon game, but you still got to be there like
1 or something like that. Or 2. That's when they open the doors or something like that.
Yeah. So. We really appreciate y'all. Like y'all rock with us. We had a lot of people in the chat today.
Yeah, so, I loved it.
So high five,
girl. We did it. We did it.
But anyway, we really appreciate everybody in the chat and being just very
interactive too. You notice that too. Like a lot of people were giving comments.
Exactly. These are the best shows when we have y'all just being super interactive with us. So we really appreciate y'all. Before we let out, please like the videos on both of our channels. Mine is Stargazer Sports and Mickey's is Craven with not a G but with an N. Craven Cowboys. So y'all please subscribe to our YouTube channels, as well as get a cavalry. Subscribe to our YouTube channels. Like the video, please, guys, and
hit the cash apps too, y'all.
Share,
we put some time in for y'all. Please
exactly. Hit the cash app. Let me see if I can bring the.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah.
I think this is my. Do I have my cash app? No, I can make it here. I'll put my cash app.
Yeah, while you guys do that, make sure you guys spin the block. I might try to do a live maybe tomorrow early morning, late morning, maybe around 10 or 11, depending on what time I get up and everything, and put a show together. Or if not then I'll probably do a live tomorrow after the game.
Okay. Mickey, what's your cash app?
$MP
Cox, right? 90.
Yep. Oh yeah, 90, Yeah, we really do thank everybody for rocking with us, because we, like you said, this kind of a last minute thing. We had talked about it weeks ago, but I was able to kind of hone in on the details this week and be able to finally hit on my girl when I touched down, and I was really excited about this. I told told my parents and everything. I'm like, man, like, cause like you said like a few weeks ago, like you're literally like my best friend like in this space.
Exactly, like we're
I just
best
feel like
friends,
we really vibe.
but we literally, live in 2 different states.
Yeah,
so I told me guys, like, I don't care what I'm doing. If you come down here to Dallas, like, we have to meet up. So
yes.
The job donate, that's Mickey's Cash App, MPCox90. And then this is my Cash App, Stargazers, $ Stargazer Sports. So y'all, please,
anything, y'all, any donation helps.
We really appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight. Y'all was a great audience, and hopefully, we don't know. This won't be the last time we meet up. We don't know when we go meet up again,
right?
But we know it's gonna happen. We'll make sure that it happens. But really appreciate all of y'all for. What happened? Oh, I lost. Wait, hold on.
Oh, hit the camera.
Oh,
there you go.
What the? Oh, now it's on Mickey camera. What? I don't know what happened.
I switched up.
I just effed up the camera some way, but anyway, it's all right. That's the whatever the text guy saying get offline. But anyway, we thank y'all so much for rocking with us.
Yes, we love y'all.
Love y'all so much, and we will hopefully be able to do our normal show, next week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Go to the Commanders.
Hey, that would be fire.
That would be dope.
That would be dope. I'm going to that game too.
That would be
dope, sis.
We'll see, guys. We'll see what we can do. But I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Saturday, and we'll talk